Hello, everybody. I'm Prowl, and today I wanted to bring you all the information that you're going to need to know before doing your pre-purchase, your pre-order of the Hytale Early Access Edition that's coming up. Pre-orders are coming out Saturday, and there's a host of things that you should probably know and do before you actually jump in. So before we hop into that, if you feel like it, press the like button if you like these types of videos, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of them, and don't forget to use code PROWL8413 whenever you buy Hytale or you purchase things inside of the game. So this video format's gonna be a little bit different than my previous ones. Hopefully you guys like this better. It definitely fits me a lot better. I like doing it this way. So the first thing is, I want you to understand that this is like a true early access. If you haven't been following a lot of Hytale, this is important for you to know. Simon bought Hytale back from Riot Games, and he did it a few months ago. He's had, like, some of the team has had remote access for those couple months, but they've only actually had the game back on their PCs locally for about 3 to 4 weeks. So you can imagine that they've had this game for 3 to 4 weeks to work on, and they're using an old build that is 4+ years old. So with those things being true, you can expect some stuff to not work right. The reason that they're doing this is they want to quote unquote break the curse. This seems to be the theme that Simon is going with. I like it. You're going to see this theme emerge in the game. It's actually going to be part of the story, breaking the curse. In this instance, what we're talking about though is Hytale got announced, like, what is it, 7-8 years ago now? And the game was in development for almost 10 years. And there's definitely a stigma about the game that makes people feel like the game is cursed. It's never going to release. It's never going to release. So that's why the big rush to get the game out there, because it's the only way to stop all the criticism of the game's never going to release if you release the game. So like I said earlier, truly an early access experience. You may have played games that were in early access before, though this is not those games. A lot of those games, they were and felt very complete, but maybe they were just like missing some things that the creators, that the studios just wanted to like add in to make the game feel more full, maybe get some feedback on some certain things. We're not at that stage yet. Hytale's at a true early access stage from the point of you're gonna probably see major bugs. You're probably gonna have game crashes. There may be like major game breaking bugs. Hopefully there's not. They're trying to squash a lot of those now, so we'll see what happens. But I'm sure people will come across things when we're out to hundreds of thousands or millions of players or however many people play versus their like 40 to 50 in-house people. Also, keep in mind that a lot of systems that you see in the game are not yet complete or balanced or fully featured. So you may see instances where the mob AI doesn't really respond very well or gets stuck. Don't worry, that's going to change, right? You may see instances where certain weapons or tools don't feel like they're properly balanced. That's because it all hasn't been implemented yet. Now, if you have feedback on those things, I'm sure they're going to have an official process to do that, and definitely give them feedback and definitely report bugs. But just go into it knowing that you're going to experience these things, and make sure you're okay with that before you purchase. If you're not okay with that, that's fine. Wait until later when the game is in a state that you will be more happy. Right now, you're very much going to be a bug finder and a person is offering suggestions while you're also having fun playing Hytale. So just keep that in mind, that that's the experience that you're going to get. So one of the first things you're going to want to do if you're deciding that you're going to purchase the game, or even if you're not, but you're going to play it at some point, you're going to want to go to hytale.com, and then you're going to want to click on login, or I guess register. Yeah, you're going to want to click on register. And then you can pick one of these sign-in methods if you want to create your account. Discord, you got Google, you got a lot of different things here and available. One thing that I'll point it out now, since it's here, it says sign up with Epic Games. The game is not going to be on the Epic Games store. They just wanted to give you this as a login method. That's all. And if you don't have any of these accounts, you can just sign up with your email address down here at the bottom. But you're going to want to do this and go through the couple of short steps to create your account with Hytale. Now, I'll show you my account for this part. Just notice you can have multiple profiles, and multiple profiles essentially allow you to have multiple copies of the game stored under a singular account. So if you want to have 2 or 3 copies of the game for whatever your reason may be for that, you don't have to sign up with a new email every time. You put it all under the same account. It should make switching between those profiles pretty easy, rather than having to sign out, sign in. I'm imagining it's something that you can just swap between them. But in any event, these different profiles will likely allow for a lot of different convenient features, either for yourself for a second or third copy of the game if you want it for some reason, or if you're going to include a family member or something like that on your account, it might make managing those things easier. I'm sure we'll find out about that a little bit later. But for you, the important thing to know is you don't have to sign up for multiple accounts to own multiple copies of the game. Oh, and I should point this out because I forgot I had this on the screen, but you see on the top right-hand corner of the screen up there somewhere, I don't know how it works, over that way, whatever, that direction up there. That is the day counter for how much time is left. If you go to hytale.com/countdown, you can see that counter. That's how long we have until the release of the game, just in case you were wondering what the countdown timer on the screen was. Next, let's talk about your requirements that you need to meet to play the game. First, the game is releasing in early access on PC only for now, just for now. The game will have console support in the future. Simon and team want to get the game in a better state first, put out all the fires, get some of the biggest missing features into the game, and just get the game to a point where they feel like, okay, like we're a good spot. And then they're going to start developing towards console. Obviously, we don't know when this is going to be. I would imagine it'll be before full release or by full release, but we'll see. Mobile has been mentioned as a possibility in the future. It has not been 100% confirmed though. So if you're somebody that can only play on mobile, or that's how you prefer to play, just know that you're probably going to be waiting a while. Now, next, if you play on Mac or Linux, they're working on it right now, but it may or may not make it for early access launch. I would say have your expectations for it. It's not going to be there for early access launch, but they are well on their way on working on it. So I imagine this is something where we're talking like months, worst case scenario, but we'll see. You never know if they could hit a big hang up that's going to require a lot of work. So keep an eye on it, or keep an eye on my account. I'll let you guys know as soon as they let any kind of news out on that. Now, PC requirements, let me pull those up for you here really quick. Now, this is available in the Hytale blog post. So if you go to hytale.com, go to blog, you can go through and read the whole thing. I'm not going to read the whole thing for you, but you can see here on screen where they have their minimum requirements. Their minimum requirements aren't terrible. They're pretty good. You can basically run this game on a potato. But if you're worried about it, if you have an older machine, you can pause right now and look through what's here. That's 1080p at 30 FPS. If you want to have a higher frame rate, this is a recommendation for that. And they will continually update this over time as they get more testing in from more users. So you may want to check back on this page every so often. Now, the last requirement I'll say is like, where do you get the game? So when you buy Hytale, you're going to purchase it through their website, and you're going to get a launcher through their website, and you're going to use their launcher. So they have their own dedicated launcher. No, they will not be on Steam right away. And they say they have some hurdles to get onto Steam, but they're also not in a rush, because most people put their games on Steam to reach a larger audience. They don't feel like they're ready to reach that larger audience yet. They want to more stay within the audience that knows the game a little bit more. So the feedback they get is more catered to people that understand the situation of the game. And once they get past that point, I'm sure is when they'll start to think about listing the game on Steam. Also, I meant to mention this earlier, Steam Deck. They are planning Steam Deck support. It sounds like this is something they want to get to sooner rather than later. They're going to be working on controller support, which they do not have yet. They are working on that though. And I'm sure once they get past the early access launch itself and squash any major bugs that exist, controller support's probably one of the things you're going to see come sooner rather than later. And once PC controller support is good, I'm sure that's when they'll start thinking of making things compatible for the Steam Deck. You won't be able to purchase the game or launch the game for now through Steam, Epic Game Store, or anything like that. Keep your eyes out. If something like that changes, or we get some new news on that, I'll be sure to report on it. Now, when it comes to the game, there are different versions of the game that you should be aware of. Let me pull up the graphic for that now. So here's the different versions that you have available for the game. There's 3 of them right now in early access. There's the standard edition for $19.99. There's the supporter edition for $34.99, and the Curse Breaker edition Founders Pack for $69.99. Now, a couple notes here that are important. There is no like real difference in these other than cosmetic differences. Each version of the game just gets one copy, and there is no like pay to play anywhere here. You can play the game exactly the same on any of these editions. There's just a few cosmetic differences between them that if you want to support the studio more by paying for one of these higher editions, you will get this as kind of a perk. Now, I'll pull up this graphic just to kind of make it easy. It's a graphic I made, I posted on Twitter. But here's the 2 cosmetic sets you get with the standard edition. Then in the middle here are the 3 cosmetic sets you get with the supporter edition. And on the bottom are the 3 cosmetic sets you get with the Cursebreaker edition. There are additional capes that are available outside of ones that are themed for these different cosmetics here. They didn't specify which capes were in which edition. I'm assuming some of that information will be available when we make our early access purchase on Saturday. But if it's not, just know that whatever version you get that version's cosmetics and all the lower versions cosmetics. And they do plan to add to these sets over time throughout early access as a way to continue to thank you for continuing to help them out during this early access process that they're going through. So just know that it doesn't end here. You will get more, but this is the most that you can expect to get is cosmetic things. So if you don't care about those, you will still have cosmetics available for free as well, just as part of like the base game. So make that decision whatever you want. Now, one thing that people ask a lot, can you upgrade? Yes, you can. So you can start out at standard edition today, and a year from now, decide to upgrade to the Cursebreaker edition and only pay the price difference. So you pay the $20 initially for for the standard edition, and then you would pay a $50 upgrade price to go up to the Cursebreaker, which is the price difference in the two. Now, important to notice that all of this is only available during early access. So if you don't buy the game now and you wait for full release, will not have access to these perks. These early access perks will not be available from that point forward. So if you care about any of these like things, you're a completionist, you like to have like all the cool stuff, you want to have everything, you're going to want to buy one of the higher editions of the game to have those things, because if you wait until full release, you won't have those things to get anymore. One more thing that I thought was important to note too, that I think a decent amount of people are going to care about, is modding and servers. So obviously the base game, the vanilla game for Hytale is going to be great, but on top of that, they have designed the game very heavily for modding and for servers and for mini games. This is like a core part of Hytale. It's not just a thing that people are going to just do. It's something that they have designed for when they made Hytale. And as part of that, available on day one, servers and mods will start appearing. Obviously, you'll have less on day one than you will on day two, and so on. And I expect this to expand pretty rapidly. And you are going to be able to access these things in game. So you will have a servers button that you can press to find these servers. These are non-official servers. They are servers that are made by third parties that are creating different experiences. Maybe it's RPG or something else. You'll be able to look through a list, find these servers, and play all from in-game. Also, mods will not be available to access from the in-game menu at launch, but they're working on it and it will come soon. So initially, you're probably going to find mods on sites like CurseForge, and maybe just by Googling and looking around, maybe a Hytale specific site will come up. I don't know. But the goal is for them to have a mods button that you can press on in-game as well, that will pull up all of the mods available that get submitted to them. And you can search for them through there and just click them to add them to the game really easy. It's not like modding other games where you have to go into file folders and move stuff around and use third-party tools for stuff like a third-party launcher. You don't have to do any of that. It's all going to be built into the game. So you will have a variety of experiences other than just the vanilla gameplay at launch. And then finally, early access starts on January 13th. So you have one full month, and then early access begins on the 13th. early access is likely to last at least a couple years. We don't have any kind of exact time frame because honestly, they don't know yet. It's whenever they feel like the game's ready. But I would expect early access to last at least 2 years. Very likely could be longer than that. And expect regular updates and additions to the game while you're playing. There could be minor updates every week. I don't know. There could be major updates every month. I don't know. They haven't really given us any kind of a schedule, but at least the stage they're in right now, I imagine the updates are going to come fairly quickly for a little bit. And just know that these updates can change your experience in the game. And it's possible that at some point, probably earlier rather than later, but it's possible at some point an update comes in that makes it so you can't update the first world that you make. So it's possible that you could make a world on day one, and at some point, like a couple months from now, they do some really big update and that old world is not able to upgrade to have all the new stuff. I don't expect that to happen much. It may not even happen at all, but it's just something that I think it's good for you guys to know is technically a possibility. Most things, though, I would suspect will work just like other games you've seen, where an update comes in, you log into your world has those new things in it. And if it's something that's based on the world itself, maybe you have to travel outside of areas you've already visited to see the new stuff. So just keep that in mind. And just remember, again, it's a truly early access experience. Just know that going in. They've stressed it a lot of times. I want to make sure I prepare you guys as well, because if you buy this game based on what I say, I want you to know what you're expecting to get. So anyways, I appreciate you guys watching. I hope that this gives you all the information that you feel like you need. If you have any other questions, you can drop them down in the comments below. I'll try to answer everybody's. Also, just for fun, comment down below. Let me know which version of the game are you buying. Are you playing now or are you waiting? And what is the thing that you're most excited about with Hytale? If you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, please click the like button. If you want to see more great Hytale content, stuff like this, let's plays, modded servers, mini games, all that stuff, I'm going to be doing it all. So make sure you subscribe to the channel here and go follow me on twitch.tv/prowl8413 as well, so you can catch all my live streams. I stream here on YouTube and I stream there. And again, if you want to help support the channel and help me make more Hytale content, use code PROWL8413 when you purchase Hytale. And for any in-game purchases that you're able to use the code on, I would greatly appreciate it. It will help me out a lot. So thanks again for watching, and I hope you guys have a good day and have fun with Hytale.